Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that girl from LA and that guy. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Say, do you wanna talk about it? Let's talk about it. Talk about it. I think I might wanna go on there. Let's talk about it. Talk about it.
And now your host of Let's Talk About It, Raheem Mitchell.
Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk About It. I am Raheem Mitchell, your host. Today, my guest is Kwame Corbett. He's the choreographer for Church One Ministries, and he studied at Alvin Ailey Dance School. Please welcome Kwame Corbett.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, man.
How's it going?
It's going great. I just want to tell you, man, I was there when Chris Bolton asked me to come out and videotape the, first of all, he told me to come out and tape the rehearsal. So I was there and
Yes.
I taped the rehearsal and I was watching everything. And I just want to ask you, how do you come up with each dance for every song? Let's talk about that.
So a lot of choreographers go through, or they have their own little process, creative process, so to speak. And I always, have told a lot of my dancers who have asked me, like, how do you come up with these moves and how do you come up with these formations and stuff? I've always told them, it's the Holy Spirit for me. I don't take any credit for anything that comes into my head, anything that, as far as, movement. And I just kind of get inspiration through life, through watching. There's been formations that I made because I saw birds, and the way they flew, the way, there was one time that I took formations from waves when I was at the beach,
Right.
So God is in everything, and God is everywhere, and I just don't ever take any credit for any type of choreography or any type of inspiration that I get because I know where it's coming from.
Right. Yeah, so what I was explaining to Chris and them, I was like, I said, I was at the rehearsal when the dancers was dancing. And I just saw streamers. They were just using the regular, was that how you pronounce it? Was
Yes,
it streamers?
the streamers,
Okay, I
yes.
want to make sure I'm using the terminology correctly. So they were just using the streamers. So I was explaining to Ross. I said, well, they're going to come out. They all gonna be using streamers, they're gonna be dancing, and that was like stuff like that. And they were like, oh, okay. But when they actually did the performance Sunday, and the two women on the end,
Yes.
their outfit were wings.
Yes.
And I was like, 'cause I was doing a tight shot, like you guys was asking me. And then when they went to open up, I said, whoa. So then I had to zoom out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so we can get the full effect.
Yes,
and I said to myself, wait till I see him, because he did not tell me that they was going to. What was that from, like the bird or from the wave?
That was Minister Bolton. So I'm going to blame him for that one. We had actually started out, we sat down, and he kind of gave me a list of all of the songs that he wanted to do for the first Sundays from, I guess, from September on to, I want to say, January, February. Right. And so I'm sitting there, and I have a repertory sheet for the dance ministry, and super organized.
Right.
So I'm sitting there, plugging it in because I have to make sure that I'm able to train them and also incorporate this choreography as well, because I don't want them to just do moves. I want them to get trained and get something out of it as well. And so we're sitting there talking about it, and I said, okay, what do you want in this? What's your vision for this particular piece? And so he told me his vision for it, and he said, I want something that's going to surprise Bishop. I said, well, the fact that everybody's doing a whole bunch of things together, just like everybody's around doing streamers, like it's going to be a big deal. That's going to be a surprise enough. He's like, no, we need something else. So we're looking at, I typed in, praise dance things. He's like, angel wings. And I was like, what angel wings? What are you talking about? And so I typed in praise dance angel wings, and we found them. Wow. And I'm like, okay. He's like, I need white. So we tried to find white, and it was transparent. He was like, silver then. So I was like, okay. But I wanted to use them during the rehearsal, but we didn't know if Bishop was around because Bishop likes to linger. Right. He likes to hide and be like, hey, what's going on? What you guys are doing? And we told him, it's a surprise, stay away from the rehearsal, blah, blah. And so we just kind of didn't use that. So that was my fault. I should have told you, FYI, but we didn't know if you were gonna, keep it between us or not. So that was a top secret.
It's a secret. I was just shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, because I'm tight, because Chris was like, I want tight shots.
Right.
Tight shots. So I'm doing these tight shots, and I'm getting everybody, and then I just saw a wing come in front of my lens.
Right.
And I'm like, where did that come from? I thought it was somebody to the left.
Right.
So I zoomed out, and then she brought up her other wing. I'm like, wait till I see him. I'm like, wait till I see that dude, man. So, yeah, man. So tell me a little bit about your training and what made you decide to go into choreography, and what's next for you?
So when I started dancing when I want to say 4 or 5 years old. I actually started singing at elementary school, and we were just, doing theater and music and drama and stuff like that. But there was just something about dance that just kind of drew me to it. But so I just kind of went full deep into that. And I've trained at a lot of different schools in New York. That's where I was born and raised at. So the Edge School of the Arts, which was kind of like my base home school. And then I also trained at the DeVore Dance School, or the DeVore Dance Center. And then I kind of progressed into just all types of different programs that there was in there, because at the time, it was encouraged for men to dance, for boys to dance, and there was not a lot of males in dance classes. So the incentive was that if you come to class, we would pay. You would get a sponsorship, or you would go in for free, or you would get a super reduced rate. So while the girls are paying for costumes plus tuition plus all this, I went to most of my dance school for free, and I only had to worry about recital clothes, and even that was discounted. So I was very blessed growing up. It's not like that anymore. No. Everybody is like,
no, everybody,
lottie-dottie,
You don't care, you nail it, you pay.
Right. You step in here, you go pay.
That's
so, but I was very blessed growing up. To be able to have as much training as I did. And I also worked hard because I had a lot to prove. Number one, I was a boy, and number two, I was bigger. I had a football player's body's build,
right.
And all my brothers were football players. And so when I was like, no, Dad, I want to dance, he was like, what? So it was kind of weird for him, but he supported it. My mom was super supportive of it. And then I just kind of went full on through. And then I did an apprenticeship at Juilliard for a little bit. And then I realized that I can't stand ballet, even though it's the basis of all dance.
Right.
And plus I was a kid that, was just really rebellious. So, I just wanted to buck against authority. So I really focused on just kind of getting the training and just staying in dance as much as I could because it got me out of trouble. So after I went to Juilliard for a little bit, I went to the Ailey School. That's when I knew that this is my heart. This is where I need to be.
We're just gonna shut it down.
That's it. Right. Because number one, there was a lot of representation. A lot of the schools that I went to, especially when I went to Juilliard, it didn't seem like there was a future for black male dancers until I went to Ailey. And I realized they didn't just teach you moves, they taught you about the history of Alvin Ailey and the school, and he became one of my dance heroes. And so just him starting one of the first black or first African American successful dance companies, it was huge. And so it really impacted me and shaped my vision of how dance is supposed to be viewed and representation, and also how I can have a career in it. I started dance companies, and after that I knew I wanted to be a choreographer. Right. I kind of went through this range of okay, do I want to continue dancing and be a professional dancer, or do I want to choreograph? And there was just so many things inside of me that I needed to get out artistically and creatively, that I just wanted to make sure that I was able to instill what I learned throughout my dance career and the teachers that blessed me. I wanted to be able to do that for others as well, and be able to kind of pass that torch. So I kind of went the route of choreographer, dance teacher, or dance educator. And so that's why I started a couple of dance companies in Seattle. I opened up my first dance studio in Washington State. Did a whole bunch of different things with that. Moved to California. Started working and choreographing for different dance groups and different dance schools. I'm on the board for a couple of different dance conventions that is out there. And so I just want to continue to just impact dance anywhere I can, you know, and I never thought that I would end up at a church because I was like so against church for a while, you know, because I was church hurt for a long time.
Right.
You know, God has a way of bringing you around.
Come on back.
But
You be
God,
back. Yeah. You gonna come back.
He has a way.
It's like a boomerang.
Right.
You may go.
Right.
But you gonna come back.
But you come right on back.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I did not expect to ever to kind of continue in dance via church. And so I'm really blessed to have not only a supportive bishop and just a bishop that just kind of, and a spiritual father just kind of pushes you, you know, it says, okay, you have this gift, what are you gonna do with it? Right. You know what I mean? Like, don't just sit here and, you know, just dance, I want you to go further. You know, a lot of, you know, people out there will sit there and try to hold that gift and try to contain it, and he just wants you to go out there and expand and grow. And I really appreciated that with him. But not only do I have an awesome bishop, but I have a great minister of music that is just understands the performing arts language, pushes us, you know, in terms of the entire music department, and really just tells us that we can go beyond what we thought we could, you know?
Go past that.
Exactly, and it's okay to do that. You know what I mean? Because where you think your limit is, God's gonna take you further.
He's gonna take you further.
Yeah, so, yeah.
But one thing I do want to say to you, that you have the most, how can I say it? You have the most patience when you're training somebody. Because even at the rehearsal, although you guys probably already went over that dance 3 and 4 times. This one little guy wasn't getting the jump, turn. I don't know what that is, what move that was, but and I saw you over there working with him, and how you took the time with the youth, and I was like, well, that's cool, because a lot of choreographers back when I used to. When I was in theater, if you couldn't get the dance, you know, they give you 2 weeks. This is the dance, and opening night is in 3 weeks. So if you don't have the dance, okay, you're gonna be in the background. Bring me the people up front that know the dance.
Oh yeah.
Instead of having the people that know the dance teach the people that don't know it.
Right.
And I want to tell you that you actually took your time out to work with that young man, the young lady that was there, and you were showing them the moves and showing them everything. You kept telling them, you'll get it. It's a jump, turn, whatever, spin, kick. whatever it was, and then come Sunday morning, they had it, and I was like, okay, cool. You actually took time, because you remember, you always have to go back and say, I remember I was in this position.
Yes.
And someone took the time out to help me.
Yes.
So now I'm gonna reach back and I'm gonna take my time out to show them.
And one of my teachers in Ailey said something to me, and it kind of shaped how I view teaching, especially youth. And teaching youth is completely different than teaching adults, not just because of their age, but just because there's more gratification, at least for me, in teaching youth, because I know that they're going to take that and really form it, you know, and really take that light and really do something with it. But one of the things that my teacher had told me was that you'll understand, because I asked her, why are you not dancing? Why are you not a professional dancer? Why are you teaching? And she said, you'll understand when you have your first student. When your first student steps on for their first recital after you've been training them for a year or so, you'll understand why I'm teaching today and not dancing. And when I had my first studio and we went through our first year, it was rough, because it's like the first year, you know, we're getting new students, you know, some classes are not taking, some classes are, and then all of a sudden, you know, we have our recital, you know, and when I saw them get on stage and just seeing their light, and seeing that, like, showing their parents, like, this is what I did, you know, this is what I'm working on. I just want to make sure that the kids have an opportunity to know that they have somebody that believes in them, that they know that they're good to go. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was great. I just wanted to make sure that I had an opportunity to tell you that. And it was nice seeing that, because I remember when I first started, and when I was because I'm not known as a triple threat. I'm just a double threat. But you know, I can.
You'll do a little two-step.
I can do a little two-step. But what I was saying was, by double threat, I'm comedy and drama, not dance. I can do it at all. But I just want to tell you, it was a pleasure seeing the performance. And Chris was like, man, you got to come out and watch this guy that does the choreography. He said, Raheem, he does it with his whole heart.
Oh, thank you.
Everything. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to come check him out. I'm like, yeah, he all right. I said, you know, because Chris will tell you about people. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, he all right. Yeah. And then when I saw you, and I was, you know, sorry you're doing it wrong, I said, this is cool, man. I like the way you took your time out with everyone, and even with the adults, you always say, okay, we're going to go over this, and if it's something you understand or if I'm going too fast, let me know, and then we'll make this look good, because we're not doing this for me, we're doing this for who? You pointed out there, but
that's
we're doing
right.
this for Jesus. Yeah, that's good. But I want to thank you for taking your time out to come on my show.
Thanks for having me.
And hey, it's the pleasure's all mine, man, and keep it up, keep doing what you're doing, man, and next time you have the next recital, you want to come, let's talk about it.
Yes.
All right?
Yes,
and
sir. Bless you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, you've been watching Raheem Mitchell. Let's talk about it. Kwame Corbett is an excellent choreographer. And make sure, matter of fact, make sure you give them your information just in case somebody wants you to choreograph something, maybe like a wedding dance, a wedding march, or something like that. So looking at the camera straight in front of you.
Yeah, so definitely you can go ahead and check me out on social media, Kwame_speaks on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and I also have a section called Kwame Dances. So yeah, you can definitely reach out to me there, and then I'll get back to you.
All right. Well, everybody, you heard that here first on Let's Talk About It with Raheem Mitchell. Thank you for tuning in, and remember, don't ever share your 8x10 dream with somebody with a 5x7 mind. Thank you very much. See you next week. God bless. Peace.
Let's talk about it, talk about it. Let's talk about it, talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it, talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. That girl from LA.